All right, guys. So for today's episode of the podcast, I've got David Rafuse, he's two things. He is the owner of Blended Athletics, which is a gym out in Nova Scotia. Okay. So remote, but it's Nova Scotia remote. It's not crazy, right? But this guy, his gym, I believe, is 2013 founded. He hovers in that like 8 to 900 member range. He's built an incredible business there. And he started working on a second project. It's called Train With Us. Train With Us is essentially a solution for the communication issues that gym owners have with members about things that are not membership wide, right? Like price raises, membership wide email, coach leaving and a change in the schedule, membership wide email. But those little hey, X amount of people are going to a High Rocks, or hey, we're doing this thing, this social event at the brewery, or hey, we started a run club, where you don't need to be blasting everybody. You want to create, subsections of the community. And again, a lot of people think about like, oh, that creates clicks and it fragments the community and it's not good for it. I would argue the other way. I would argue that there are people who are going to want to opt into different things your gym is doing, and you want to be able to isolate all the communication and the interaction in a solo place. So essentially think of this like as if Slack was easier to use, less cumbersome, and was specifically for you and the members of the gym. That's how Train With Us works. David goes into a much better explanation of this than what I'm providing right now, but really smart dude. I enjoyed talking with him. I'm also just impressed on what he's done on the gym ownership side. And I love to hear of guys that have, hey, check the box, not that he's done, but like, hey, I've done this really well. I still have that entrepreneurial itch and I'm pursuing something, especially in today's world and apps and AI. Him tackling this problem that he knows exists and he believes he has the solution to help gym owners. I think it's an awesome go at it. And I'm hoping it's going to work out for him. Guys, David Rafuse with Train With Us. Enjoy the conversation. What is up, guys? It is Stu. It is another episode of the What the Fuck Gym Talk podcast. I have got David Rafuse, founder, co-founder, you and your wife, correct?
You got it.
Of Train With Us. David, do me a favor. Tell everybody, what the fuck is Train With Us?
So Train With Us is the infrastructure. It's an app, but the infrastructure that helps other gyms create and manage their community. It's, my wife and I started a gym, Blended Athletics, back in 2013. And so after a decade in the industry, we realized that there was something that we were missing that we just weren't getting out of all the other technology that we were using. So we created it ourselves.
And when you say other technology, and by the way, for background real quick, David and I were just having like this conversation in the DM. And it was about kind of retention and things like that. And he was talking about his app and we were going back and forth and maybe some differences of opinion on things. I was like, dude, let's get you on the podcast to jam about it. But when I look at this, so this essentially, what are we when I look at a tech like a SaaS product like this, right?
Yeah.
This is SaaS, right? Fair to call it that?
Yep.
Okay. So when I look at a SaaS product like this, generally they're designed to replace other products, right? So what are we talking? What, Facebook groups? Or like the built-in messenger within member management software, or like what were you guys using prior to digitally create community with members? Like I know like one of the examples on here as I was looking through the deck and the website is like, let's say you got a run club. Like what was wrong with just having signs up in the gym, announcing it during classes and sending an email out, hey, run clubs every other Tuesday at 6 p.m. at blah, blah, blah park. Fucking be there.
Yeah, that's what we were doing. Facebook community page, internally within our team, we were utilizing Slack. We had, countless dozen Instagram groups that were happening, text groups that were happening outside that. Like our stack that we were using to, execute on what we wanted to from a community perspective was just like way too big.
So we wanted to Slack with the members?
What's that?
You guys use Slack with the members?
We never did. No.
Oh, okay.
So we were using Slack with our team, and then we were utilizing like a Facebook community page for our members, or Instagram, or text message, or email.
Which makes sense. You want those two communications, separate. When you need to talk to Coach John about, and he's got an issue with with Sally, who's a pain in the ass member at 6 a.m. You don't need Sally be having visibility to that, and vice versa. So is with Train With Us that also has a back channel communication section for just staff?
Yeah, so on the platform, you get a tab at the top that you can flip between the member section and the staff section. So you have your private staff section, you get channels based off of whatever you want to create. So we have like a new member channel, a wow moment channel, a general channel, just like anything that you like your gym would need from a private perspective that you want to communicate with your staff about, that's there.
Got it.
But
So
on the flip
channels
side,
operate kind of like they do in Slack.
you got it. I
Okay.
mean, that's where we took the idea. Like, the idea isn't original. To your point, it's like, how are you going to create a piece of technology that's a little bit more specific to like one industry rather than making it very broad, and then bringing in the things that you're missing from some of the other stacks that you're essentially creating or utilizing.
And walk me through this. So let's say, so everything like, let's say there's a High Rocks in DC people are doing. There is a couple local run clubs you guys want members to go to. There's a fucking gym social at the bar, whatever. Are you just creating then like separate events for all of these things?
Yeah. So there's channels that are like we reference them as micro communities. So to define a micro community, and this is kind of how it all started, is like high school was my favorite example of this. You got essentially four walls, your high school, which is considered like a community in essence, but like it's not one community. You got the jocks, you've got the band, the chess club, the drama club, like all of those groups are separate micro communities within the like high school curriculum. Same thing happens within your gym. And so what we wanted to do is we wanted to create specific ones so that if you didn't want to join the run club, you were not going to receive emails. You weren't going to be a part of a Facebook community page. You weren't going to be a part of like an Instagram group that was getting like messages about run club. Like, not interested? Great. You get to tailor your entire experience with regards to what you're getting from messaging to whatever it is that you find most interesting.
And I like the analogy of the high school. So like a lot of like on especially on the real estate side, what we do, like we do customer segmentation. So there's like a macro community. We'll use
Yep.
a high school analysis, and then every larger cohort of humans is always going to segment into their own groups based on likes, dislikes, interests, psychographics, all that. We're all going to kind of segment. In a gym, the segmentation of membership can also be looked at. A lot of people will call those like clicks. And then some of the clicks become toxic, whether that, whatever, however you may look at that. And some people would claim that fragments the community. What would you say to the argument that something like this, like, okay, so I go to gym XYZ. The XYZ does a run club. And I'm like, I don't want to know shit about XY. I don't want to know anything about your run club. Fuck your run club. I don't want to hear about it. I'm in this micro community and we're people that say fuck the run club. We're not interested in it. Right. So like, is it more like a notification preference? Like typically a gym would send out a weekly, monthly newsletter and would have several things. Hey, these are the 7 things we're doing over the next 3 months. And here's an update to this class schedule. Oh, and Coach Tina got married. Congrats to Coach Tina. Is this replacing communication like that? Or now do we have redundant efforts of emails going out, like newsletters, communications that also advocate? Or is it like no communication about these events or micro community events? It all goes through here.
Yeah, so it dramatically reduces it. So, for example, we've got 65 members heading out today for High Rocks Ottawa, and they're taking like it's a plane ride from where we are in Nova Scotia. So we're all hopping on a plane. We've got hotels booked, so on and so forth. If that communication that was happening within that channel for the last 3 months was happening on a Facebook community page or by email, it would have been a shit show.
So it's like group texting. Like group texts are great for a second, and then you're like, shut the fuck up. It is Tuesday. I don't need to talk about the guys' weekend 3 weeks from now.
Yeah. Yeah, but here's the issue with group texts that I always found as a gym owner is 16 people would create a group text about something that was going on in the gym, and I had 8 of their phone numbers. The other 8 people show up in that group text as just the phone number, and they're communicating. I'm like, who is even talking right now? And that just always frustrated me. So I was just like stuck in these groups where there were people that I wasn't even aware of who was in the actual group. I was just like, I gotta get out of this.
Yeah. So like the real problem, whenever I look at like a company like this, especially in the tech space, I always like, what problem are we solving? Essentially, would you say is the big, like just in this, and again, I could be wrong here. From my initial look at this, the problem we're solving is streamlining communication for events or whatever. Yeah, I guess events are probably the best word. Um, so that just those members are they're finding out what they need to know when they need to know, and again, we're not spamming or the emails, because again, if you were sending out let's an email about the High Rocks in Ottawa, and then a couple weeks later who's signing up, and then hey, if you haven't signed up yet, make sure you do. Oh, by the way, here's all the hotel information, and everyone's getting those emails, even the people not signed up for High Rocks Ottawa. Yeah, it'd be kind of like click delete, click delete, click delete. It could get annoying to anyone not participating in this event. So we're essentially siloing communication, and this is, I'm assuming, text-based, video-based, audio, multimedia that you
Yep.
can. Okay. um and it feels a lot like Slack. So okay, yeah, we're essentially streamlining communication for events within the gym.
Yeah, I mean, that's what is happening up front. What got me really interested in is what happens because of that. So, you move, let's say you move to Canada, okay? And you walk into my gym, you just left a community that you've been a part of for years that, you've create relationships in, and so on and so forth. And now you're in a city that you don't know anybody. How do you integrate yourself within that community,
Within this new city,
within the new city?
well, I've I meet people in my apartment complex when I'm getting the mail on the elevator. I join a gym. I meet someone at a coffee shop. Find my favorite sports bar on Sundays.
Yep. Yeah.
So like
And
in
so
real life.
that's exactly how we want to do it, with a digital bridge to it for the people that aren't really comfortable with approaching a random person and starting up that
Do we
conversation. So
believe that's a skill set that we shouldn't lose?
I think it's a skill set we lost.
Oh, don't I haven't lost it.
No, I don't think everybody's lost it.
Okay.
I would very easily argue the fact that, post COVID, that is like, I go to a networking event in my city. I will have people walk up to me that have connected to me on LinkedIn with no problem.
Okay.
Right. And it's because they've made that digital connection, or they have
Sure.
something to talk about. So if I sit in your office and let's say, there's an image of like the Boston Bruins in your wall, that gives me a relationship point to start a connection. If I go on to our platform and I jump into your profile, we just met in class, right? And I jump on your profile and all of a sudden I see that you love hockey, right? The next time I see you in class, I'm not going to say, "Hey, Stu, like, did you catch the game last night?" I'm going to talk, like, actually, that might be how I approach it. But like, I'm not going to be like, "Hey, Stu, I saw you like hockey." I'm going to start a conversation around, "Did you see that Montreal game last night? Like, can't believe they lost in OT." And that I know, like, I mean, this is just human nature. I know you like hockey. That I know that that's now going to create that conversation. Now, what all the whole platform, all it did was it created the bridge for that conversation.
Sure.
I don't want people to stay on the platform and sit there and doom scroll. There is no feed in here. It is a, "Hey, Stu, it was great doing a workout with you yesterday. Let's grab coffee after class tomorrow."
Got it. So my question is now, so let's say I move to a new city. Is this app, so for if I'm a gym, are all the events and everything I'm posting, are they public and then anybody with the app is able to access them, or is it specific to just the gym members?
Yeah, great question. So, as the owner of your community, you actually have the option to make an event public so that everyone within your city sees it. So, within Halifax, we've got a dozen gyms that are on the app right now. And all of those gyms are posting events. Some of them are public and some of them are private to their events. So, like, we ran a charity event last weekend. It was a puzzle competition for brain cancer. That was a private community event, right? That just went out to our members. Only our members could see it, so they had to be a part of our community to see the event. But we had the Atlantic High Rock series that goes on this summer. That was public, and we took 120 people. The whole event sold out within 3 hours, and 25% of those people that signed up for the event were members of our gym.
So, okay, and now this goes to where the real value of this then for that specific purpose has to come with a high level of adoption of the app. So like if I'm in Charlotte, like how many gyms do you have on this in Charlotte, North Carolina?
None, but we
Okay.
just launched in Halifax in January.
Got it. So I got my question for you on a business side. How do you, again, if I'm a gym owner, I'm instantly like, I,
Yeah.
I don't want another goddamn SaaS product.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and again, it's like, am I going to sign up for another SaaS product, cultivate another SaaS product, develop, create, take the time, create these communities and like really invest in this versus fucking send the email and annoy some members who can just ignore the fucking email like every other adult would with every email that comes into their inbox that they're not interested in, or any turn off the notifications of Facebook group or whatever it may be. How do you think of getting, because I'm assuming for tech you need a lot of adoption for this to take off, right? I don't know how much it costs for you guys to get this thing up and running, but it's probably going to require a lot of gyms to be on board. What is that? What does that rollout plan look like? And how do you sell to a gym owner? Yeah, this is worth another, again, I'm not calling it a distraction in a negative way. This is another fucking thing you've got to think about with the gym, blah, 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 and do on top
Yeah.
of, all the other things that they're doing.
Yeah. So from a user perspective, it eliminates some of the necessities of going to Facebook, Instagram, which more and more of the population is looking for. I mean, I'm 40. I spend way less time on those platforms than I ever have. And so any sort of notifications coming through those algorithms, which I may or may not see anymore, right, are no longer there. And the only time I'm hitting up Train With Us is if I got a notification that is actually relevant to me. So that actually streamlines it for me with regards to app usage. With regards to distribution, the best part about this is like in any SaaS industry, you're trying to, like your cost to acquire a client is on an individual basis. For us, it's actually one client distributes it across the entire membership. So, we get one gym owner on the platform. They deliver that to their entire membership, 250, 350 members. And the best part is like, I never, like when a new member walks in the gym, they never question what we're giving them. They're just, I'm like, they sit down and I'm like, yeah, download Zen Planner. This is how you're going to book for classes, and download Train With Us. This is how we communicate. They're just like, download, done.
Got it. And what happens when Push Press decides to go ahead because they just got a Series C and they got $4 million extra, whatever the fuck it is, and they want to just build this within member management? And now as a gym owner, I'm probably going to go with that potentially, as long as it's comparable in feature sets, because now I still am only using one app.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about the risk of any SaaS business. So, I mean, that's the world that we live in, is that, someone bigger, faster comes out and gets ahead of us on it, we lose.
Or you get bought.
Or we get bought. And I mean, at the end of the day, is that not always the goal?
Correct. Yeah, I get 100%, right?
And you go back to the question around the gym owner, and like, if I can help you move the needle, right? And let's jump to retention for a quick second. I mean, there's 3 ways that anyone's going to grow their gym. It's more clients, which without question, client acquisition is like, if you do not have that skill, you are so screwed. Like, you are out of the game. But at the other side to it is like, how do you get your clients to spend more money with you? And that the third is like, how do you keep those clients longer? If I can give you a platform that makes, I mean, I've heard you talk about this before. It's like, I'm pretty sure you've stated, people don't quit people quit gym memberships. They don't quit relationships. So if I can get you to have a relationship within the gym,
not the membership on the other side. Yes.
If I can make it socially expensive for you to leave my gym, I just won. And what I mean by socially expensive is like, if you are leaving your run club, your friend that you do coffee with after your morning workout, and the coach that follows up with you when you've been away and you've been sick, like now leaving the membership, like what are you leaving? A programming, like a Leco equipment, like you can get that stuff anywhere for next to nothing. That is not why you're joining my gym.
Correct. But also, if I leave the gym, I also speak this, I never let any of my friends join the gym. None of my buddies that I went boozing with and had a good time partying with, those fuckers were never allowed to join the gym for I didn't want to blend church and state. But the members that just came in as, I don't know who the hell you are, you just paid money to join my gym, that became friends, whenever they left my gym and went to another gym, that was just like 3 to 4 hours a week. I just didn't see them. But like the friendship we didn't stop being friends. Like, we'd still go fucking party and hang out and go on the weekends and get coffee and all that, just because 3 to 4 hours a week they were sweating socially somewhere else. I guess my thing is, when I always think of retention, and my shtick is that I think retention
Yeah.
is the most over abused, everyone finding a solution for. I'm like, how do you find a solution for something that, again, if you look at most gyms, and I've heard people say other numbers, and I will call them out, that I think they're fucking full of shit. People like, the retention of a group fitness facility is 87%. I've been doing this since 2014. I've never seen that. The worst I've ever seen a gym at is like in the maybe 91% month over month retention.
Yeah,
And
but you're looking at this wrong, Stu. So like the difference between 4%. Oh, so
well,
like let's look at the retention from the perspective of like percentages. You
sure,
go from 96% retention to 98% retention,
You have a
and
you
you
have,
do
you
the
have a 300
math.
membership gym, and you have 10% churn, meaning you retain 90% of them. You just lost 30 members. If
Yeah.
you can increase 5%, you have 15. You only have to retain 15 plus members.
And
100%
yeah.
understood. It. My thing is this: is that retention is less a measurement of whether the gym's doing good at service and community and programming, coaching, and whatever it is, and it's typically more of a result of the fact that fitness is fickle. It's not utility. It is fickle. It is a hobby. It's one that will do great things for you long term, but it is fickle in the sense that people will change what they choose to do for fitness. And it is also dependent on milestones. You tell me, I've got a young demographic, 25 to 35. Guess what, fucker? Those people leave you when they get engaged and they get married and they want to pop out a kid and they can't be in downtown apartments anymore. They got to get a house up in the suburbs. Gone. Nothing you did community coaching programming wise did that. When somebody decides, you know what, I'm going to go back and get my PhD. I'm going to be in the library 70 hours a week. I'm just not going to go to the gym as much. I might get a little fat, but I'm going to come out with a doctorate and whatever. Okay. Nothing your community coaching, programming, connection, anything had anything to do with that. When people change gyms for the one is just, I want to do something different. Nothing, your app, your events, how many attaboys you sent the coach and how well you coach them how to do a squat changes the fact, like, yeah, I think I'm just going to go to a different gym. I'm kind of getting into boxing a little bit. Like, I got into watching boxing, and this one gym does boxing. I'm going to try that. I'm going to go do that now. I guess retention is just, we treat it like a problem, but it's the nature. It'd be like a restaurant, be like, how do I make the customer never leave? Well, they got to leave it for some fucking point. It's the cycle of a customer. Now, if you got your numbers down, you're like, my average client stays for 18 months and spends $3,500. Cool. And then you install something like a train with us for 12 months, and your length of membership and your lifetime client value goes up and to the right, and you didn't change anything else. That's interesting to me at that
Yeah.
point. I believe retention is more of a boogeyman than we give ourselves credit for. And what I think the reason why retention always gets pointed to is because, well, yeah, but I gained 10 members this month, but because I have 96% retention, I lost 6, which means I only netted 4. 96% retention isn't a problem. It's nothing to be fixed. 97 is an A plus. I've never seen a gym go month over month 97 and consistently for, like, if you're doing 97, you were at the top echelon. Never seen fucking, annually 98, 90. That's a lie. That does not exist. People
I,
leave. So it's like, the bigger you get, even if you maintain 97% retention, 3% attrition will always occur. But the bigger you get, that means your client acquisition has to get larger to overcome for the 3% since that number's growing. And client acquisition is just hard. It's
You're
harder than
looking
you
at
think.
it from only one point of view, though. So, like the ability to utilize a platform where it creates connection within your memberships also does something that's even more valuable than retaining the clients in themselves. So, like, what's the easiest way to get a new member? Easiest, cheapest way to get a new member for you? Is
Of
it
course,
marketing on Meta?
it's going to be referral.
It's referral, 100%. So if I can create a space where you immediately feel like you belong and I can get you to refer to people, that just took my cost to acquire a new person through Meta and through all my paid avenues from 300 to 200 because I was able to replicate a referral by 2. And those, if I can get those 2 people that just became referrals to get 2 more people in by referral, that just
How many
multiplies.
members are at your gym?
We have 460 people on EFTs and 300-ish on punch cards. We sit around 800 total.
Okay. So 800. Okay. So I'm just going to just do some easy math here. If 10% of the membership referred somebody annually,
Yep.
that'd be 80 clients acquired over the year, right? So let's say that's on average 7 a month, ballpark. Okay.
Yep.
The average gym does it like referrals are something that, like, when you take a gym like yours, is like, man, out of 800, like what like for you at 800, like what's an annual goal for you? Or like, what's your monthly goal of clients, like new clients signed up at 800 members?
Yeah.
You're probably like, I don't know, dude, we're kind of fucking capped at 800, but I don't
Yeah.
know, maybe you're not.
No, but we need to replace the or attrition that we do have. So we do have 3% attrition, and
Yep.
we track everything like
Yeah,
to
yeah.
a fucking T. And so like last year in 2025, our average monthly attrition ran at 3%.
Okay. So like 24ish to 30 clients, something like that.
You got it. Yep. And
Okay.
we run, to go to referral aspect, we run 2 very strategic referral plays twice a year, and we run them at specific months. We run it in December because everyone's looking at that time, and we know if you're going to compete against all these like people that are going to go out and give these crazy ass deals. We're running a referral play in December. We're running one in May. Because listen, if you refer a friend in May, there's no way you're going to walk out in June and be like, hey, like, I'm glad you joined my gym, but I'm taking the summer off. So that's also a retention play for us, is like strategically a May referral program helps retain the people that may have drifted for the summer because they're going to spend more time on the golf course or paddling or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So,
And how like a ballpark, how many referrals do you think you get on something like that?
yeah. So in the December one, we averaged 50 to 75 referrals. And
Okay.
in the May one, we averaged 25 to 35 referrals. And we retain, we automatically sign them into a reoccurring. So they like immediately go into a reoccurring. In their first 3 months, we retain on average 85. We've run the same play for 4 years.
Awesome. So in that bigger one, the December one, that's about 7 to 8% of your membership is referring. And then on the lighter one, it's like 3 to 4% of the membership is referring.
Yeah.
Right. So like, here's why I want to frame that up, because everyone's like, oh, but retention also helps equal referrals. Referrals is still why it's the easiest. It will be the least, like, I'm assuming do you run paid ads?
Oh, 100%.
Okay. What acquires more clients for you over a year? Referrals or paid ads?
Long-term clients? To straight up answer your question.
Yeah, just acquires clients.
Paid ads.
Okay. And so that's, I think, when I start looking at this, because I also think of referrals in a sense of your greatest referral source shouldn't be active clients.
Yeah.
Like when you think about it,
shouldn't be one thing at all. You need to have multiple lines in the water. You need paid ads. You need organic strategies.
But there'll always hierarchy. There'll always be stronger versus weaker ones, right?
Yeah.
Like when I think about it, like when people cancel, I think one of the things that I never had a problem with, and I think it's one of the reasons I have the look on retention, my number one referral source was canceled members. Because right now, if you have 800 active, that tells me you probably have 3,000 to 4,000 lifetime canceled clients.
9,500.
Okay, beautiful. Those 9,500, and again, I don't believe they left because they hated your shit. You did a bad job. The coaching sucked. The community. I don't believe it's that. I believe they left because they either chose to, fickle, or because they had to, geographical, job, life, family, kids. And that was always my thing. It's like, we hit up the members for their in-house referrals, which is good. You should do that. I love that you do that. Everyone listening should have pointed times do you run a heavy campaign. Otherwise, if you're just constantly going to that well every single fucking month, ad fatigue happens at all levels, right?
Yeah.
But that list of 800, like it was always, if you know anyone moving to Charlotte and they need a gym, we'd love for you to refer us. It was my number one fucking referral source because it was my biggest density of a list of a segment, past members. And that's where it's like, when someone would cancel, I'm like, a membership's not forever. Referring people can. I remember having a member with us for 3, referring for 7. Like annually, sent 1 or 2 people a fucking year. And that's a guy who hadn't been with us for fucking 7 years. And so that's what I think on the retention front. I want gyms to increase retention. I just don't see it as the biggest problem solved. Because someone gets on train with us or anything, and I increase our retention by 2 to 3%, it helps. But the fact that gyms do not know how to do client acquisition, and obviously you're seeing a position where client acquisition is understood and it sounds like it's being executed well,
Yeah.
right? But it's the hardest thing. And I think it's the hardest thing because do you guys outsource or you do it in-house?
We do both.
Okay. Marketing firms is generally what I recommend. And I think it's a really hard thing to be. I don't know about you. It's the last job in the industry I would ever do is being a digital marketing firm. Fuck that. But when you think about it, gym owners that are not, I don't want to pay it or I don't understand it. Why don't I have 100 leads every single month on my $20 a day ad spend?
Yeah, but they don't understand their numbers. They don't know their cost to acquire a client. They don't know their lifetime value,
100%.
where that's all going. It's like the biggest issue that we really have in the industry is literacy around finances. Like these numbers are so misunderstood within the industry that people sit there and you have a conversation with 9 or 10 gym owners and ask them what their attrition, their CAC, their lifetime value, like they're oblivious to it.
Correct.
You can't run a business like that.
Correct. And I think it all comes down to it. It's small business owners of all sorts. Most small business owners get into it in a technician, craftsman kind of role, a la Michael Gerber. Like they come in as that technician. They never they've never even had a managerial background maybe, or they've never had this upper level echelon of running something. Just they're better at doing something,
Yeah.
right? Type scenario. And so when I look at this, I would train with us. I'm like, I completely understand, especially a gym as big as yours. I've got clients in that 600 to 900, membership range. They do have a lot of social events and activities. And I do believe a centralized place for communication, updates, and all that allow the people who want to know about it to know about it. The people who don't need the notifications to know about it. I think it eliminates, I think gym owners sometimes like, I really want to hit them with a referral email, but we've sent 7 emails out about class schedules and this event and that thing and Tina's birthday and the float trip and whatever it may be. And it's like, I feel like I'm exhausting them. And you might be the most annoying thing in their inbox at that point. What have you seen, what I'm curious with Train With Us? So Facebook groups for members can be an absolute dumpster fire of conversation. Like, down here in the States during presidential elections, I generally advise clients turn off topic starting, turn off comment, like just fucking make it output only, no input. How do you regulate conversations if and when needed within the app?
Yeah, I mean, as an administrator, so like you give administrative rights to your coaching team, whoever that you approved for administrative rights, they have the ability to delete messages. But maybe it's that we're Canadian, but we just don't have that happening.
I think it's a lot of the reason you guys are Canadian. You're just fucking nicer than we are down here.
Yeah, we just don't have that shit happening on the platform. And the if we did, we would just delete it and have that conversation. If we had blocked someone and take them off, you just block them.
Yeah. What are you guys able to do audio? I use Slack for both WTF and Gym Real Estate Company, right? I love Slack. I am like you. So when you and me were going back on DM, right? I am just money. I love an audio message. I think my tone comes across better. It just allows me to do it on the go. I'm not going to kill anybody while I'm driving, leaving an audio message because I keep my eyes on the road. Are you guys able to like install a video into it or audio or something like that? So like, if you're like, hey, we're doing an update, guys, I'm really sorry, but we're having to cancel the trip. And it's something, like, God, this is going to come off cold if I type it out. I want my tone to come across. Like I need sincerity in this.
Yeah, it's not on there today. I mean, we're still in beta, but we have that on the feature deck and should be in play in the next 3 to 4 months as we go into our first launch.
And this is like, would you consider you guys are a little beyond like an MVP level at this, right? We're at beta level. Okay.
Yeah, we've got like 25 gyms on it, couple thousand people.
I think this is interesting. I think there's a lot of gym owners that listen to this that might have a side hustle or they're getting really, really fancy with Claude Code, and they're wanting to come up with some kind of app kind of scenario. Could you walk me through from Jim, or do you have a background in tech?
None.
How so? Did you outsource this developers? Did you do it like how did you build an app?
Yeah. So we hired a CTO. So like this shit costs money. And I mean, I've been playing around. I mean,
Do you
I'm
want to share
a,
like what have you spent on this app to date?
yeah, we're just over 100 grand into it.
That's it?
And
I would
that's
have
it.
thought it'd be a lot more.
Yeah. No, we spent a year building this now. And, it's one of those things where I think I'm an early adopter. So big on AI, right?
Yeah. It's
I'm a
probably
huge
driving the costs down on app creation and all
100%.
that. Yeah, makes
I
sense.
mean, if you were going to build a platform like we've got, you would hire, a couple senior developers and then probably 6 to 8 junior developers. The difference nowadays with AI is I can have a really, really, really good senior developer do the work of 10 junior developers. And that's exactly what we have. So we have like a rock star behind the scenes. And the reason that I'm not going to go onto Claude Code and build this platform is like the security side to it. Like anytime you're involving this is like all that data has to be secured. You need to be able to create the infrastructure and stuff to be able to protect from like blocking the ability to block. Like there's way too much involved in that. If you're going to create like a really dumbed down platform that's in-house only that has creates no back end database, everything lives
You're
on a
gonna get
personal
some
server.
hacker who just wants to drop dick pics in your app with your members and just
Yeah.
fuck it with you. Yeah, yeah. I get it.
You just can't do that. So I
Yeah.
think that like where we live right now is amazing. Like I fucking love this world. People are like pissed about AI in certain words. Like what? They're mad about the industrial revolution or when web like
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
no, like shit's just gonna change. And
Yeah.
I think it's actually gonna be help society. I mean, the reality of it is like I don't want to sit behind my desk looking at Excel sheets for 8 hours a day. As the CEO, like I want to be client facing, out socializing. I want to be doing those things. Like let me get AI to do the shit that I don't want to do. And let me get my coaching team spending more time with clients, creating experiences, running events, doing things that AI won't be able to do. So
Yeah.
huge fan of it. But the reality of it is like, we're at this dangerous part right now where I think people are starting to play with and be like, this technology is cool. Look what I can do with it. And then they launch something out publicly and they're like, whoa, shit. Like, do you have your insurance in play? Like, I mean, it's business, right? Like, you got to have insurance in place. You've got to have the proper security and encryptions in place. Like, there's so much there that you need to have someone with experience that has been educated and trained to launch a SaaS product behind the brains of this. I'm like a visionary. I have no tech background. I'm learning as I go here, but I am never going to be able to sit down and read a line of code.
Sure.
And I have no interest in it.
Yeah. And with okay, so 100,000, what is the price point for this for the gym? Because this is a this is a B2B play, not B2C.
Yeah.
So one gym, you get a bunch of downloads and adoption from the one gym, ideally. Excuse me. So two questions. One, what do you guys charge? And then two, what is the goal? If I were to, let's say I still owned Urban Movement and I want like, hey, put this in, which my goal adoption rate of this be within
Yeah.
the first, 90 days?
Yeah. So price range, you have 3 tiers. The bottom tier, your foundation tier is $139 a month.
Okay.
The top tier, which includes the AI infrastructure on the back dashboard to be able to kind of do some of that retention stuff. And it has integrations with your platforms. Like we have API from Zen Planner all pulling through. So I have all my class info coming in the dashboard, which provides a lot of cool information to be able to utilize in a way that you just can't currently do on our CRMs. But that top tier, you're at $300 a month. With adoption rates, you're looking in the first month or two to be somewhere around 50% of your membership. It took us, so we still, I mean, we don't have 100% adoption. We will never have
No,
100% adoption. It's just like, that's not even
of
realistic.
anything, of
Nothing,
anything.
nothing. I mean, we have
We we don't
30%
have
open
100%
rate on
adoption of
media.
laws,
Yeah.
like, that you go to jail for. Like, people still murder motherfucker. Like, it's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, feel like 100%, no, that's not okay. We're on the same
Yeah.
page there.
So, I mean, within the first 4 to 6 months, you'll have probably around 75% adoption. And that's pretty much about where you're going to max out. You've got your early adopters that'll come out month 1 and 2, and then you got the FOMO side by month 3 and 4. And like we'll release something. We still launch, like our Instagram is active, right? And because that's where like people, that's marketing, right? You're not utilizing Train With Us from a marketing perspective. You're using Instagram as a market. And the gyms that are posting their like events and like stuff like that on Instagram, like what do you, that's not
Yeah.
marketing. Like
Y-
that's
Are
meant
you
to be
referring to
somewhere else.
like gyms like Instagram is for the people who aren't members yet, like prospective members who need to learn about you, check if the lights are on, what kind
Yes.
of workouts do you do, who works out there, that kind of thing. And then
Yeah.
people like, hey guys, we had a leak, 6 a.m. classes closed. Like, no, like that should be in a
Yeah.
proper in-house communication channel, whether it's traditional email or something like Train With Us.
Yeah. If you're posting the powers out and gyms close on Instagram, like I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I mean, yeah, you're going to get 75% adoption within those first 4 to 6 months. And for me, that is enough for me to be able to move the needle. And all I want to do is, and like to your earlier points, is like, I can't be only one thing. If I am the best marketer in the world and I have, 50 new clients coming through the door, but my attrition is 85% in our world, like I'm still going to lose, right?
Sure.
I need to be pretty good at all three of those things.
Now, and where I'm thinking about this in terms of, there's a lot of gyms that when you join the gym, maybe it's like, oh, you're assigned a coach and you do quarterly check-ins. So like that coach could have their own channel within Train With Us with all of their clients in it. And he's just speaking one to many to his cohort of like, hey guys, quarterly check-ins,
Yeah.
make sure you're scheduling them with this, that, blah, 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 blah.
So
Now,
this is the best parts, Stu. So like when the coach opens up the app, because they're assigned as a coach, they will be given actually like 3 tasks for the day. And those tasks are actually oriented to your compatibility with the member. So let's say, for example, you haven't shown up in the gym in 7 days. That flags on our back end, right? It gets pushed to Tommy, who's a good match for you. You guys have a good relationship. You're an avid like class attendee to his class because he usually coaches the 6 p.m. High rocks workout, and you also both are totally into like sports and stuff like that. So your flag doesn't go to Caitlin, who likes horses. Your flag goes to Tommy, who likes sports, and Tommy then has a task on his dashboard. It's like, hey Tommy, send Stu a message. He clicks on that task. It pops you right into the DM for Stu. And it's like, Stu, haven't seen you in my class in the last week. Where you been at? And it's like, did you catch that hockey game last night?
yep. The
Totally
hardest
different.
Yeah. So it's funny. I'm thinking about this in terms of, so when we onboard new clients, either business consulting or for the gym real estate company, we get them on the Slack. Those that use Slack and work, easy adoption. They're used to getting it. The hardest is then we tell them, do not email me anymore. Do not email me. This is what we're doing. And still there's those, the slow adopters, the laggards that are just like, I've never used this. I just don't want to use this. Like we literally had a client, decide that we shouldn't work together. Like, I don't want to communicate with you here. And I'm like, well, I'm not communicating with you via email. So probably best to go separate ways. And it was just simply due to like, I don't want to do another thing on my phone kind of scenario. And my guess is for the most part, that's a minority.
Yeah.
And then my experience has been a minority. I'm assuming that with the gym, it's kind of minority as well. I guess what I'm trying to think of here is like, if someone's still looking at like, if they liked what you're saying, then they heard the price point, like, maybe, I'm thinking of it like if you sell in-house nutritional coaching or there's challenges or there's this team versus that team or whatever, anything in-house, this would be a good way to facilitate those kind of things as well if you're selling additional services in-house. Now, on the terms of like you're creating an event. So let's say you have a run club. Do we have back-end infrastructure? Because like generally I would always advise people like just fucking go to Eventbrite. All the infrastructure, even if you're not even trying to make money off the event, the infrastructure's there. You can send notifications through it. It shows you how many people participate, blah, blah, blah. What kind of infrastructure do you guys develop on the back end for creating your own events and pointing people, hey, do you want to sign up for the thing? Go here to the app.
Yeah, that's actually exactly how it works. So you go in, we cover off on the things that we believe we can do really well and we're missing in the other platforms, which is I want to send you a specific notification because this event that we just launched is compatible with you. You go to that event, you get to see that like 18 different people that you're friends with have already signed up for the event. And then you press sign up. And then from there, it just links you into Eventbrite where you pay for the event.
Got it. Okay, so it integrates directly into Eventbrite.
Yeah, and then it automatically loops you into the event chat. So now within your channels, a new event chat pops up, and only the people going to that event have been locked into that event. So here's a great example, actually, where I think this is a game changer for an event perspective. We launched the Atlantic High Rock Series event, like I said, a month ago. It sold out in 3 hours, 120
What is
people
that? Is that
sold
an
out.
official High Rocks thing, or is that
No, it's like a just a local, like affiliate based
got a High Rocks? So as a High Rocks affiliate, you can use the brand name on external
You got it.
events. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And so we've got our kind of lead High Rocks coach starts posting in there, and like he calls it an ultra, but it's like a long workout once a week in preparation for that event that's happening, 2 months from the day that we posted it. Okay. That first weekend, 3 non-members walked in the gym being like, I did that workout. Like I was hoping that I could talk to Jordan, right? Jordan signed them all up for like his like remote programming, and they come in and they do one workout with him in person. That long workout that he does every Saturday with his like comp team, they come in and they do that workout with him in preparation for that the event that we're running. So like same thing is like you send what are you going to do? BCC 120 people on an email about like here's where you're going to park, and someone sends a message back that doesn't go to everyone, it goes to you, and then like 2 seconds later someone else sends the same goddamn message being like, oh fuck, I screwed up that email, right? Like
Yeah.
this solves all that. It's like goes to event chats, dude's like, are you sure that's what you meant? It's like, oh no, I meant this. Great, everyone just saw it.
It's yeah, I definitely see the value in streamlining the communication. From that SaaS perspective, obviously, yeah, the biggest thing is like, can you get big enough to get the interest of some of the member management software people? Um, and then if you're going to compete, how do you think about, I think about like Facebook buying WhatsApp, right? Like that was a duh, but like you think of some of the more niche brands out there that are still doing their thing and having been bought out or beat out by the larger competitors that do a more macro version. How do you think about doing something unique enough in there where that becomes the glue that is going to allow you to be able to compete when the member management softwares want to roll something like this out?
Yeah, I mean, the goal is for one of those people to come to us and be like, what you did's awesome, we want it, and we'll acquire it.
Okay,
It's a fast play. I
sure.
mean, we see a gap in the market, something that we wanted selfishly for ourselves. We're like, we got 2 to 3 years to pull this off. And Zen Planner walks in and they're like, we want it.
Have you had any initial conversations like, with it? Because obviously you're using the API, which you don't have to call anybody for with Zen
Yeah.
Planner, right? It's there. But
No,
I
you
mean,
do.
have you been having any conversations and networking with the decision makers at the Zen Planners, the push presses, the mind bodies, the whatever?
Yeah, I presented a conference last month and Zen Planner spoke after I did. And that actually is perfect. He walked up after and he was like, we need to talk. And since then, they actually have a technology partnership program that they've created in order to essentially prepare this amalgamation of like smaller technology that they want to bring in house. So we began that conversation because you do need to pay for an API through Zen Planner, but utilizing the partnership, they actually provide you that with that as part of the deal, and they just slide a little bit off the top of your monthly payments. You give that, and then they prep you to get to a point where essentially they're going to buy you.
I love the fact you're not a tech guy, but you're obviously an idea guy. I can identify problems and come up with solutions kind of guy. What other areas in this same category? Maybe it's not communication and event based like yours, but do you currently see in the gym space? If there's another someone listening out here that is, they're going to pick up a kernel of kind of how you see, because this probably couldn't have been the only problem you saw. You probably had, like a lot of entrepreneurs, 30 ideas. This one ended up winning out. What else have you seen out there in the gym space from a tech side that's missing?
Yeah, I have a better answer for it. It's what is not missing. And this whole verge on AI coaching and AI nutrition and stuff like that. I mean, I feel like I see a different company popping up every day saying, here's the solution for like that shit is free. And I don't need it. It exists. It's good. Like you don't need to the reason people are walking through our doors again is not because of the Eleiko equipment downstairs. It's not even because those are base level ways of entering your gym. When someone walks in my gym, they expect that I have good coaches. They expect I have good equipment. They expect my gym's clean. Like they expect I have good programming because they don't know the difference. So like if you think you're sitting there and being like, yeah, but I have like that shit doesn't matter. It doesn't move the needle.
Yeah.
And so like I think what we live in is a world where a lot of SaaS and technology is being built by technology people and they've never lived a decade in the gym industry. And so for me to go out and sit there and like be like, what am I going to do? Compete against like HWPO? Like, no, like they got a good thing going on. Like, I'm not going to come out and create that. Or you want to like look up a workout, you can do that for free online, throw it into ChatGPT. And like, you know what? That workout is going to be good enough for like 85% of people that want to move today. You can take a picture of your hotel gym and just be like, give me a 45-minute workout. And
Yeah.
it's like, boom.
Yep.
And like for 85% of the people, it's like, that is good enough.
Yep.
And so like that stuff's not moving the needle anymore. So if you're going to go into creating something, I think it has to be based off of creating an experience for people. You get AI involved and like what people are going to be searching for more now than ever. And we see this in the data is like coffee raves, right? Like that didn't exist 10 years ago, but like young people want to get together and not drink alcohol, but they want to have a good time in person. Like there's also like technology free parties now. It's like you're not even allowed to have your phone on you.
Hey, that's crazy you said. I just went to a brand new cocktail bar here in Charlotte that does like if you go see a comedy show, you lock up your phone into a black bag. You keep the black bag by you, but like it's locked. You can't open it until the end until you leave the bar, and they unlock it for you. Um, I I want to throw this out there selfishly because I want someone to do it, and the open gym model in the States is coming back in big force, especially as people are, educated now through group fitness and they kind of know already how to lift. They might not, maybe they don't love the exact programming of the gym anymore. They've kind of got an idea in their head and there's someone they follow and they want to just do that on their own. Um, the thing in the open gym space that's difficult right now, the hardest thing when I'm evaluating is I know how often members go. I don't know how long they were there for because there's a check-in, but there's not a check-out. And I don't know where they go inside the gym. So if I'm working, let's say I've got a client, we have a 20,000 square foot open gym space. I know that a cell phone pings the satellite every 3 seconds. I'm able to get geographic information at an obscene level for commercial real estate. I know I can literally take any building and I can show you where what schools the customers drive to based on where the cell phone goes. I know where they live because I know where the cell phone stays for 6 to 9 hours a night. And that indicates likely a home or a late night shift if they work. What I would love, if anyone's listening to this, because just talking with you, I know there's someone else like you out there. Maybe this will be plan two for you, which I'd love. I want the phone to have the ability or an app so that if the gym signs up for it, they know when someone came in, obviously, because they check in, but they know when they left, how long the average open gym session is. Because again, it's not classes. In group class, we know how long you're working out for. But in the open gym, we have no idea how long we're working out for. And I want to be able to look at a fucking visual of my floor and be able to find the path. Like, because everyone has their phone on the floor. It's fucking everybody. I don't listen to music typically. And if I do, the phone's in the bag. But the vast majority of open gym people, because that's where I primarily work out these days, have their phone because they're following a program or they're filming themselves or they're doing whatever. I would love to be able to see, oh, dude, that leg press gets used 16% of the time, but these machines and the average person actually spends 45% of their time over here in this section of equipment. Like that's the kind of shit that when I think of like I love ideas like yours. I love guys like yours identifying problems. Selfishly, that's one of the problems. I just would love a brain and a motivation like yours for someone to go fucking solve.
Leave it with me.
David, you're the man, dude. Listen, I am always glad to have another ginger on the show. Congrats on what you built with the gym.
Thanks.
Fucking dope. I need to have you back on sometime just to talk the gym. But train with us, guys. Trainwithus.app. David, if anyone's got questions specifically for you, they want to reach out. I know you've got a contact us section on the website, but is there any better way to get in contact with you?
Yeah, I mean, just hit us up on Instagram.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. Guys, I'll link that all out down here. Brother, best of luck. I hope to hear of a Zen planner, another business acquisition of Train with Us at some point. And dude, congrats with all this. This is sick. Nice job.
Thanks, Stu. Appreciate you having me on.
Hey, absolutely, dude. Absolutely.